So I mic'd the intake tube on the head on the Atc70 engine, and I mic'd the inside of this. This is 820 thousandths. The intake is slightly larger, but my carburetor is smaller than this. So I think we should be fine. In the future, if I ever do any work to this engine, I'll have a little extra wiggle room with the intake. I could probably go a little bit larger on the carb. And this is the shape of the one I had on there. You can see it's way too big, and because of that, I think I was getting air leaks. I had to elongate these holes. It just, you know, wasn't really the right intake. The price of intakes online almost scare me. So I'm just gonna make this one. I'm gonna mimic the shape. I'll probably cut this here, and make one pie cut in the middle. I should be able to get this shape. All right, so this is the oldest trick in the book. Well, let me backtrack for a minute. So I cut this at some seriously sharp angles, and I got the ends to line up pretty good with my original intake. It's not as nice of a curve, but I don't know why you would really need that. I mean, this gets the job done. It just gets the fuel mixture right down. It's like a straight shot down right into the intake. So we'll see how that goes. So all I did was take a piece of paper, stick it over the intake on the head, and, you know, get plenty of dirt on your fingers and just rub it around, and it leaves the entire impression of what I need to make for my base of the intake. I know that's the oldest trick in the book. Most of you guys are probably laughing at me, but for those of you that didn't know it, you know, that's how you do it. Okay, so I cut out the center hole with the scissors, or actually I used my razor knife, and just center punched 2 dots on the center of the bolt holes. I transferred it to the steel like that, and I just center punched through it with the automatic center puncher. Now I'm gonna go over to the drill press. I'm gonna work on boring this hole out first while I'm able to hold this, and then I'll come back. Oh no, I'm sorry. Drill the next 2 holes, and then I'll come back and cut out the shape. Here's my setup in the drill press. And I'm just going up a little bit at a time. I went up to 1/2-inch drills, and then I switch over to the Deming drill bits. I have the set here. Kind of jump 1 or 2 at a clip. I try not to go too much, or else it gives me a problem cutting. Right, that's about it for that hole. I'm gonna check it with my mic. And slightly over the size, which should match up perfectly with the engine. All right, here's the final flange. Cleaned it up a little with the grinder and a file for now, and try to get an angle here you guys can see. All right, that lines up beautiful. Inside is just about the same exact diameter as the intake tube, which is what I was going for. I got it tacked in here, guys. Just 1 in the front, 1 in the back. I brought it over to the bike. I checked it. It's pretty good. This isn't the thickest piece of steel in the world for the flange, so I rigged up a couple C-clamps on top of a steel plate to try to hold it down. I think I could just about fit in there with the welder, and then I'll let it cool. Hopefully it'll stay flat. If not, I'll just hit it with the sander on the backside after we're done. All right, so here's the finished product. I did get a little too crazy with the weld here, so I had to just grind it back a little. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Just cleaned up the welds, cleaned up the tubing itself. I'm gonna give it a quick coat of black paint. This is the intake side of this, and it's nice and smooth, as you can see. It's the same size diameter as this tube. This is the same size as the carb. So what I could do in the future, if I ever go to like the 88 cc big bore cylinder on this, and I go to a bigger carb, I'll just take the burring bit and I'll open this up to be the inside of the tube here, and we should be able to flow pretty good for the bigger carb. All right, just gave it a quick coat of paint. You ready to go back on? All right, she's all painted. I put a little bit of silicone on here to make a gasket and some 8mm bolts and lock washers. And I got the carburetor in place. Hopefully this is not too sharp of an angle. I'm gonna wait about an hour and then I'm gonna fire it up and see how she runs. Wow, what a difference with the new intake on here, guys. She started right up, the idle comes right back down, and it revs out really nice. That.